Welcome, everyone. We are back again to the EBM Scholars, the headquarters of opportunities, and today we are going to talk about Visa Bulletin, especially for the diversity winners, and we will also focus on the case study for the diversity visa in the bulletin, those who are waiting for December and January. What are the numbers are going to be valid or will be able to be portrayed in the visa bulletin? That will be one. But two, I want people to understand with the new processing of the diversity visas for the KCC not to request for documents. And we say that is going to speed up the visa processing and the visa interviews to be scheduled for the winners. What does that mean in the visa bulletin? And does it mean that when the number is portrayed, this will be the month where will be interviewed? Will the visa appear or be scheduled on that particular date? So we have a lot to unpack, and all these kind of things are going to be unpacked in a very short time. This is Ernest Boniface Makulo, EBM. In case today is your first time to come across to my YouTube channel, welcome to the EBM Scholars family and be part of it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share to other social media so that people can be able to come across and understand. So we are going to talk about the visa bulletin. People should be able to know that. But before I go and just start going to the visa bulletin for December and talk about the coming one for January, I want for people to understand what is visa bulletin. Because some people have been asking me, what does that mean and what is the impact of that? So let's start with the just like Immigration 101. Like the basic of visa bulletin or basic of understanding of this visa bulletin. Number one, what is the visa bulletin? The visa bulletin is a publication, and this publication is on the website. This publication is regarding the immigration to the United States of America, usually published by the Department of State. Remember, Department of State is the one which is in charge of embassies and consulates. So the people who are going to publish this one is Department of State. And the primary purpose of this visa bulletin is to provide some updates for people on the waiting list, or rather we call the priority dates for immigrants or for people who are waiting to get those kind of green card. Remember, most of the green cards are in what we call the quota system. So for instance, they might say the visas available for people who are married sons and daughters of the US citizens. So if a US citizen is having a child, a daughter or a son, and that daughter or a son is married, there is a maximum number in each year, which is about 23,000 people will be able to be given visas of that nature. Just when you go to the lottery, there is a quota. That means each year they will give up to the end of the fiscal year, which is the September 30th, they will give up to 55,000 visas. That is up to now because the immigration law hasn't changed up to this moment. So that is what we call the visa bulletin in the quota system. So the content of this visa bulletin is in the website. If you go to the travel.state.gov, and for those who do not know, the travel.state.gov is the U.S. Department of State website, but under the Bureau of Consular Affairs. There are different bureaus within each department. So, as I've said, people are going to be categorized into those kind of visas or quotas, and those preferences are going to be depending on the availability on the visa bulletin. So when they're going to publish, you'll be able to see the numbers. So they will be able to provide the number. If you are in the United States, that means it's the number of people who are supposed to do the adjustment of status, like people in EB1, EB2, EB3, and the rest. So those have limitations basing on per country's limitation. But when it comes to the green card lottery, there is a quota overall. Maybe Africa will get this number, Europe will have this number, depending on the winners of that particular time. So that is a little bit about Visa Bulletin. So inside the Visa Bulletin is not going just to talk only about the DV lottery or the diversity visas. They will talk about people who will be going to get the employment-based immigration or employment-based green card. They will talk about people who are going to file on the family-based green cards and all those kind of things. So if you go to this Visa Bulletin to the website, travel.visa.gov, and you look on the Visa Bulletin, you'll be able to see the prior years, the fiscal year 2022, which when they say fiscal year 2022, that means it is starting from October. So now it is October, November, December. So the December one will give some of the one in January, especially for the diversity visa. So then there is if you go to the fiscal year of 2021, you'll see it is starting from October up to end of September. So that's why we will say the fiscal year. So if, let's say you are the diversity visa lottery winner, if you don't get the visa by the end of September, that means game over, unless otherwise there is a lawsuit and the court is the one deciding you to continue. So for the year 2022, when you say 2022, remember, we are talking about the government year. So the year starts on October 1st, 2021, then November 1st, up whatever to continue, then the month of December. So up to now, we have 3 visa bulletins which are already released. So I'm going to explain to you the steps or when you go to open. So that is the Visa Bulletin for December. So one thing before I continue, if you want to get the copy of Visa Bulletin, there is a way you can also subscribe and get the Visa Bulletin. When it is uploaded, they are going to send it online. They send to your email. So, but so this is for the December. But because we are talking about the diversity visa lottery, so let's go. You'll be able to see this is going to give the family sponsored green card, then dates for filing, whatever those kind, then employment based, which is not in our case. Then you have the diversity visa category. So this is for the month of December. So for the month of December, usually, as I said, the section 203 subsection C of the Immigration and Nationality Act provides up to 55,000 immigrant visas each fiscal year. That is each fiscal year 55,000, unless otherwise the law changes. Up to now is 50,000, that number. And then up to 5,000 for is allocated for NACARA program. So remember, the limit for 2022 DV visas will be 54,850. So they're not going to give you 55,000. That is the number they're going to give. And these visas have been divided into 6 regions. And no country will receive more than 7% of the available diversity visas in any one year. So for the DV 2022, the month of December, Africa, they are processing up to 7,000. But if you are from Egypt, it will be up to 4,700, even if Egypt. So Asia, up to 4,000. And the exception will be for these people. Then this one is for Europe, then North America, Bahamas, Oceania, South America, and Caribbean. So that is for the month of December. I'm going to answer some of the questions you might have, because you might be surprised why up to now, maybe you are from Africa, you have 5,000, but you haven't been scheduled for the interview. While it is already part of the interview, we're supposed to have the interview in the month of December. Why? I'll answer that question. Then, when they give one fiscal year, 1 month, for instance, this is for December, the Visa Bulletin for December will give a highlight of what is going to happen in January. So this is what they're reminding you. The entitlement to the immigrant status in the DV category lasts only through the end of fiscal year. In this particular case, it will be the end of September. So the program will end on September 30th, 2022. The DV visas may not be issued to the DV 2022 applicants after that particular date. So when I usually tell people, my family will come later to America, remember, they will not go to, after that date of September 30th, they must have the visa. Maybe they can come later, but they must have the visa. If you don't get the visa by that date, game over. They're not going to prepare 2 years later. Oh, I'm waiting to find the money, my family to join me later, and then they give you them green card. No, you have to follow other processes of sponsoring your family. So then they give the cutoff point, the diversity visa immigrant category ranks cutoff, which will apply in the month of January. So these are the one which will apply in the month of January. So you see, in December, Africa is up to 7,000. In December, that's December. In January, it will go up to 13,500. In Asia, it is 4,000. They add 2,000 will be 6,000. In Europe, with 7,300, it will go to 10,000, and so forth. So that is what is going to happen in that particular sense. So there are a couple reasons as to why there are delay in the interviews. Number one, KCC didn't have a very good plan when people submitted their DSC 260. Because there are some people they submit right away. There are some people they can wait later to know that if they have won the DV lottery, then they're going to send maybe down the road later to fill the DS 260. So they don't request. They used to request the documents until yesterday. They used to request the documents. So you fill the DS 260, then they request the documents. When they requested the documents, it was random. They didn't care if you applied it today or your case number. They didn't follow this case number. So there was randomly some people, they have already submitted their case number, their documents. Some people with the lower case numbers, they didn't submit. So there was craziness inside it. So from yesterday, which is December 9th, they ended the requirement. That's why there is a video. I told you the breaking news that the Kentucky Consular Center is no longer going to request the documents from the DV lottery winners. And I explained it for those people who have submitted the documents. Those documents means nothing. It's over. They don't process them. So for that particular case, they'll be able to create more interviews. So the interviews, the process will be like this way. You win, you fill the DSC 260. Once you fill the DSC 260, you have to wait. They're not going just to give you the visa interview schedule date, whatever. They're not going to schedule for the interview until your case number is, for instance, if you were in December, you are within up to this number. But because of it previously, before they canceled the immigration prioritization, they said they have to prioritize immigrant visas. And then within the immigrant visas, the V lottery used to be the last category. So for that particular case, embassies and consulates were not able to process the V lottery interviews in a orderly manner. So they were not the first priority. They were not the second priority. Where the third was the fourth priority. Now that prioritization has been removed, so the embassies, they can be able to do interview regardless of which immigrant is going to the interview. So that one is going to process more interviews, plus removing the document requirements at the KCC part. So you'll be able to fill the DS260 and you just wait for the interview when your time comes. So for that particular case number now will be the most important things to wait when your case number is within the Visa Bulletin. And once it is in the Visa Bulletin, you'll be able to do the interview. So I usually tell people, if your interview was supposed to be in December, for instance, give yourself 1 more month in advance or 6 weeks in advance, because there have been a delay since it started in October. So if your interview is supposed to be in October, assume your interview will be in January. If your case number is with up to 13,500 from Africa or 6,000 from Asia, you're supposed to have in January. Just in your mind, prepare yourself that your interview will be in February. That will make it easy for you to push 1 month ahead, so that until they catch up with the backlog. So those are the few things I want you to understand when it comes to the Visa Bulletin and the overall process of you to go and get ready for the interview and to do the interview, because everyone is excited and is waiting the time to appear at the consular officer to get that visa on their stamp. It is the American dream of many people. You can see everyone wants to enjoy the life in different reasons. Some people, they want to come here just to work in different professions. Some people, they want here for further studies. Some people want to come here for different reasons. But all in all, we believe that once you come here, you'll be able to access the American dream and be among the people who can be able to excel and have a better life for themselves here, but also to be part of the overall global movement and global ways of making the world is a better place. How are you going to support your community, helping the people who are in your country? So those are the things you needed to know about the Visa Bulletin and how you can prepare yourself to come to the United States. I know there are some people, they want to come to the United States, and among other things, they've already planned in their mind that once they come here, they want to serve in the US military. I will make videos about joining, about military training, and so forth, and so forth. And is it a good idea? But I believe it is a good idea, depending if you are one among the people who will be able to enjoy the opportunity of their lifetime if they have the way to save the US military in that particular way. So I want to say thank you, each and everyone, for your continued support. So what I want you to go and do one thing for me, just make sure you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to the EBM Scholars. Subscribe today, share, like the video. Make sure you post this one to some of your social network. Post on your Facebook, Instagram, post on Twitter, share on WhatsApp groups this link, and you'll be able to enjoy and get the opportunities ahead of you. All these opportunities I'm creating is for you and other people. So goodbye, everyone. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye, everyone. Subscribe and